after the Colts have now beaten the Titans on Thursday Night Football, there are 13 games left to be played during NFL Week 10. I want to share my predictions, go through how I believe the games are going to go. And we'll start with number 1, Chargers at Dolphins. I'm hoping for a great game. I really want that to happen. It's Tua versus Justin Herbert. Should be really, really fun. But I think the Dolphins win this game because the Dolphins defense is really, really good. It'll be fun to watch Mike Williams and Keenan Allen, the Chargers receivers, against the Dolphins corners, really, Byron Jones and Xavier Howard. But even though I believe the Chargers have the more explosive, more exciting to watch quarterback Justin Herbert, in the end, I think Miami has better coaching and a better defense. And, Tua is still quite good, even though I think Justin Herbert has an edge right now. He's played more. He's more of a home run hitter and is really, really exciting to watch. I think Tua is still very, very good. And I think the Dolphins beat the Chargers on Sunday. Should be fun, but having a better team and better coaching does matter. And that is why I'm picking the Dolphins to beat the Chargers on Sunday. Buccaneers, Panthers. I'm torn here because, first of all, there's a lot of pressure, I believe, on Tom Brady to win this game. But I don't trust the Buccaneers because they've been so inconsistent. 1 week against the Bears, they're awful. Then they're great against the Packers. Then they're mediocre against the Giants. Then they're terrible, like the worst they've ever been on Sunday Night Football against the Saints. I don't know how much faith I have in this team. So my brain says you can trust the Panthers. They've been really consistent. They just challenged Kansas City. And I think the Panthers are better than people realize. That's what my brain says. But then my heart is telling me, first of all, the Panthers are missing their left tackle. They're missing Christian McCaffrey, their running back. And also, my heart says, it's Tom Brady. Tom Brady was embarrassed on Sunday Night Football against the New Orleans Saints. You think Tom Brady's not going to come back with a vengeance and say, dude, hey, I'm still here. I'm still good. I think Tom Brady might come back angry after getting embarrassed on Sunday Night Football. So, tentatively, even though I don't trust the Buccaneers, I'm going to pick the Buccaneers to win this game. It's Tom Brady, right? Like you pick Tom Brady in this moment. And I guess if nothing else, if I'm wrong here, I will go down swinging and say that every time you doubt Tom Brady, every time I doubt LeBron James, they're the two people in sports that every single time you say they're too old or it's not going to work, they move teams. Every time people doubt Tom Brady or LeBron, they're the two people in my lifetime so far that every single time they have defied all expectations. And so it's Tom Brady. I'm going to bet on Tom Brady. Not that I don't actually bet, by the way. I'm very actually against gambling. But I'm picking the Buccaneers to win this game on Sunday. Now, I believe the Raiders are going to beat the Broncos on Sunday. The Broncos' leading receivers, Jerry Jeudy and Tim Patrick, are both questionable to play. They're both hurt. And the Raiders are also very, very good. The Raiders, in my eyes, have proven themselves to be a good football team. They deserve the benefit of the doubt, if you ask me. They're the better team. Derek Carr is great. Their defense is making progress. They run the ball very, very well. They have Devontae Booker, and they have is it Devontae Booker? I think it's Devontae Booker, their running back. I know his last name's Booker. They got a great 1-2 punch with Josh Jacobs and Booker. I feel very, very strongly that the Raiders win this game and beat the Broncos on Sunday. Now, the Ravens. I believe the Ravens are going to beat the Patriots. It feels like an easy one, actually. People are going to talk a lot about Cam Newton against Lamar Jackson, quarterback versus quarterback. But you have to remember, Lamar Jackson is on a much, much better football team. It kind of matters. Like Cam Newton basically has no weapons on offense. You have a little tiny slot receiver who I love Julian Edelman. He doesn't really help you stretch the field or, there's a lot of things that Julian Edelman doesn't help you do either. And so the Patriots just barely beat the Jets on Monday Night Football. To me, that's a sign of a bad football team. And so the Ravens are going to beat the Patriots easily on Sunday. Another easy one, the 49ers and the Saints. The Saints are going to beat the 49ers because the Saints are playing very, very well. Michael Thomas is back. He's rolling. The Saints defense shut down Tom Brady last week. They're getting healthy. I'm very impressed with the Saints defense. And then the 49ers are missing so many key players and good players. They're on a backup quarterback. They have running backs and receivers and tight ends and tackles and all kinds of stuff. I guess between how good the Saints are playing and how banged up the 49ers are, I would be shocked if the 49ers found a way to beat the Saints and beat New Orleans on Sunday. Now, I believe the Browns are going to beat the Texans because the Browns are, first of all, just a better team all around. They're coming off of a bye week. Myles Garrett is going to give the Texans quarterback Deshaun Watson a lot of trouble. He's going to be running around, I think, trying to extend plays to get away from Myles Garrett, who, in one-on-one matchups, Myles Garrett, I think, is the most dominant player in the league this year, probably because guys like Khalil Mack and Aaron Donald are simply not getting one-on-one matchups. But Myles Garrett, for whatever reason that I will never understand, people have not quite understood and grasped just how dominant he is on the defensive line. And so I feel bad for Deshaun Watson. I want to call my shot here. I think Baker Mayfield's going to have a really big day and a really big game. And it'll be the beginning of a longer run for Baker Mayfield of playing very well. They're coming off of a bye week. And against this Texans defense, I feel very, very confident Baker Mayfield is going to be very, very successful. So the Browns are going to win and beat Houston on Sunday. Another obvious game this week is the Jaguars at the Packers. The Packers are 6-2. The Jaguars are 1-7. And, I mean, top to bottom, the Packers are a much better team. I don't know that there's... If you pay attention to football, the Jaguars are... they're really in the conversation for having a number one overall pick. Meanwhile, the Packers look like a playoff team. Oh, yeah, by the way, you also have a Jaguars team leaving Florida to play in Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin in November. Oh, guys, that's not good. You ever gone from a really warm place to a really cold place? I have. It doesn't work very well. It's terrible. You can never quite get comfortable when you're used to warm weather. Then, shockingly, you're in the cold. Not to mention, so that's brutal, first of all. Going from Florida to Wisconsin in November, terrible. The Jaguars also are likely starting a rookie 6th-round pick at quarterback, Jake Luton. And so Luton, I don't even know how to say his name because I don't even care. The Jaguars are going to get destroyed by the Packers on Sunday. Now, Washington plays at the Lions at Ford Field in Detroit this week. It's a complicated one because, on one hand, Washington is a very solid team. And I think normally Lions-Washington is a good, interesting matchup because Washington runs the ball very well. They play disciplined defense. The Lions are good enough that if you give them opportunities, they will beat you. However, Washington's starting quarterback Kyle Allen got hurt. He had an ugly ankle dislocation. Do not watch the video. I did. I watched that game against the Giants. Oh, not fun. Kyle Allen's going to be out for a while. I mean, literally, I think Greg Jennings was on the call. Greg Jennings just goes, oh, like he's kind of that, that when you get the wind knocked out of you, you just go, oh, that's not good. And so I think maybe the feel-good story of the year is that Alex Smith is going to be the starting quarterback for Washington on Sunday. Yay! Very, very cool. Woo! Very exciting. However, unfortunately, last week when Alex Smith did play, he didn't look very good. And I haven't been impressed with Alex Smith all year. I've always said, all year, I've been banging on this drum. Hey, Kyle Allen is the best quarterback in Washington. I stand by that. When Alex Smith came off the bench, he had 3 interceptions. In fact, 2 late ones that cost Washington an opportunity to win. I mean, Alex Smith had 2 late fourth-quarter interceptions in a close game that cost Washington an opportunity to drive down the field and kick a game-tying field goal or get the game-winning touchdown. So even though Washington runs the ball very well, they play disciplined defense. I hope Alex Smith is amazing. Unfortunately, I don't think he will be. So again, I think it would have been a tough, interesting game anyway. But because of Alex Smith playing and the poor play he had last week, I am going to say that I believe the Lions are going to win this game and win it rather easily on Sunday. Now, Eagles at Giants. This is one of those games where I really have no idea. I don't know. Eagles quarterback Carson Wentz is his own worst enemy. One of my most proud favorite videos I've made all year is a video breaking down the kind of the way that Carson Wentz tries to be Superman, where he tries to make way too many amazing plays rather than just executing his offense. Now, the Giants play disciplined defense, and if you do that against Carson Wentz, you're likely to get turnovers and get mistakes and win. So I think the Giants win this game. My heart says Giants win. But it's hard to tell because it depends on, first of all, how Carson Wentz plays. Does he play clean or not? And then how does the Giants, I guess, I don't know if this matters as much because I think the Giants defense can win this by themselves. However, how is the Giants quarterback Daniel Jones going to play? He needs to avoid turnover. So you guys know I love quarterbacks, and I'm really fascinated by this Giants-Eagles game. It may be one of the games I cover on Monday to start the week because I'm really curious about them. Assuming I can, based on my wisdom teeth are coming out. So I hope I can record Monday. If not, I'll watch it on Sunday and then just build a gigantic stockpile of like 8 games to cover on Tuesday. Now, Seahawks-Rams. I expect this game to be a shootout. The Seahawks and the Rams. I believe the Rams win the shootout, though, because Seattle's got a lot of problems on defense. They looked confusingly bad on offense last week against the Buffalo Bills. And the Bills are not this great imposing defense. I just thought there were weird mistakes made by Seattle. And, I mean, I feel nervous because to say that I think Russell Wilson is going to lose a game, that feels like a mistake, but I'm going to stick with it because I just don't trust Seattle right now. I think the Rams beat Seattle on Sunday. What else do we have left? The Bills. The Bills are playing at the Cardinals this week. This could be the game of the week in the NFL. I think Arizona has the edge because Arizona has a better defense. They are at home, although it matters much less when you have fewer people in the stands. I also think Kyler Murray is going to shred Buffalo's defense. So I think the Cardinals win a close game, but Josh Allen against Kyler Murray, woo! I think that's going to be really, really fun. And I think if there's one game you pick to watch this week in the NFL, go watch the Bills at the Cardinals because, oh my goodness, it's going to be a really, really, really good time. Hi, this is Zach. It's actually Saturday. I got my wisdom teeth out last night. I think I was so nervous I forgot to include the Bengals and Steelers as part of my prediction, so I'm adding this in after the fact. I hope my voice sounds okay. So the Bengals at the Steelers. Pittsburgh's 8-0. They should win this game. However, it does feel weirdly like a toss-up to me, where Pittsburgh is kind of due for an upset at some point. You feel like they're going to get their first loss eventually, and Joe Burrow is really good. So the Steelers probably win, but I am curious if Joe Burrow can make it interesting. Now, Monday Night Football to close out the week, the 13th game of the week, you have the Vikings at the Bears, a NFC North divisional rivalry. Boy, I don't know. It feels like an ugly game in the making. Now, this game, I guess, if I had to pick one factor to decide the game, it would be the Chicago Bears run defense. If you look at where they are ranked in the NFL, they're on the bottom half of the league when it comes to giving up rushing yards. And I think they're a second half team against the run. And so I think Vikings running back Dalvin Cook is going to have a really good day. And I think the Vikings win because of it. But I will say, I own my lack of bias. When I'm biased, I own it. I try to just address it head on. And look, I'm going to cover the game fairly. That's what I always do. But I will say, I'm rooting for Nick Foles here. I like Nick Foles a lot as a human being. And I want to see him do well in a big moment in a primetime game, but I don't have a lot of confidence. Like, you can root for somebody and not really believe in them. And so I believe the Vikings win on Monday Night Football because of Dalvin Cook running the ball very, very well. But I hope, just for the sake of throwing this out there, I do hope that Nick Foles does very well. If he does win and do well, I'd be so happy because I really like Nick Foles as a human being and as a quarterback. So, guys, those are my predictions. I hope you enjoy NFL Week 10. I think it's going to be a blast. I will be recovering from getting my wisdom teeth out, and I'll just be on my couch, just, probably ice on my face, just like glued to my TV, watching, taking notes, and having a great time. So enjoy NFL Week 10.